Hungry, man. All right. Well, first off, welcome, guys. Like about 60 people jumping on with us right at the start of this AMA. So super cool to see such a great community showing and such strong support. Obviously, we've seen it echoed in the Telegram. Shout out to everybody who's been like stepping up and giving instructions, doing rose commands. Man, I've seen some people, volunteers in our community that have been doing it for hours and hours on end. And you guys, like, if this doesn't give you old school vibes to just be in this Telegram group, I don't know what will. It doesn't matter what kind of dog meme coin you get into these days. Like it may have this temporarily, but it is hard to find this true old school vibes, and that's exactly what I feel like in this Telegram group. So kudos to everybody for stepping up and helping and throwing that out there. Obviously, we're going to be expanding the team as this project grows. Saw some huge successes. We're not even 24 hours done yet, guys, but I am going to throw some kind of recap numbers at you just so you can kind of see the scale of what we're doing here. And we're really proud of it as well. So let me see here. I'm going to pull up some quick numbers just so we have it's just pretty crazy. So in less than 24 hours, we've had just about $500,000 in total volume between both chains, which is absolutely incredible when you consider the learning curve that it took in some of the things that we've had to work through. $500,000 in volume, breaking it up, it's basically like almost split up. ETH has a little tiny bit more at 225K or 250K, I think. So the volume is almost neck and neck when it comes to that side of things, but really impressive. And just so people can kind of get an idea of the vision and kind of our first initial milestones that we're looking listing wise, CoinMarketCap being listed as an asset, that was something that we spoke about before, but also getting listed as a decentralized exchange on BSC and Ethereum. I mean, with these kind of numbers, like we're breaking into like currently like the top, the top 13 on BSC is what it would be. And then, the top, basically the same thing over there, top 13 over on Ethereum as well. So we're in the likes of BabySwap, Imdex, a lot of the big names, not too far behind ApeSwap and whatnot, with how much volume is going through on one single asset through our exchange. I mean, it's really impressive stuff, guys. And I think that a lot of people are just feeling that same energy and that same potential here. So really good stuff on that front. Obviously, over 2,000 members in our Telegram group from absolutely nothing, all organic, over 700 online at any given time. That's a massive ratio. It's hard to find that anymore. Over 140 on the Twitter, guys. We already have 68 people in here. So if you're in here, I hope that you've already followed the Twitter. If not, jump on there, give us some support on Twitter. Like, we want that to look like our Telegram group, and the same thing with the engagement too. If we have 700 people online at any given time, man, blow that Twitter up. If you see a post, make sure you're liking it, make sure you're engaging in it. Just give that give that appearance that we're bigger than we are, right? We're less than 24 hours old. But some of these statistics I'm throwing out are like, they're kind of hair raising when it comes to the potential of what we could unlock here within this ecosystem, and how we plan to drive the volume and the incentive, and, shock the price and supply of the token and whatnot. So obviously full hands on deck, support from the community. You guys are doing awesome. I'm trying to think if there's some other numbers. STF, do you remember all-time highs at all? I didn't really watch the chart too much.
Me neither, but I read something about 365K on the BSC side, and I don't want to lie, I'm not really sure, but it should be around that.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's awesome, guys, and like we were saying before too, like any entry on day one, we're feeling pretty confident about, just because of kind of how we've structured things to roll out, what we have going on behind the scenes, what we have built already, and then the things that are in motion as well, just to continue to add further development and value to it all. But definitely wanted to get on and just share some initial preliminary numbers. Some of that stuff you guys can see, some of it you may have not known about. Updates, our most recent update to the Surge Swap for anybody that hasn't seen it in the latest gym or the latest pin post, if anybody wants to go look at it. But lots of stuff on there. In terms of how we're going to update this, how we're going to continue to add value to it. And we're going to take it step by step. The more organic it is, the more we wanted to initially, for anybody who joined us yesterday, we wanted to initially come out with something very bare bones, right? And we wanted this experience for everybody who was here early with us, we want this experience to be absolutely from the ground up, a completely grassroots feeling. It's like, how do you capture old school BSC vibes? How do you capture old school crypto vibes? You start old school, right? Like you tear it all down and you restart. And that's exactly what we're doing here. And that's exactly what we've given the community in terms of like the swap and the charting. It's bare bones, guys. But the capabilities in seeing this as the foundation for what's going to get built, if you have that vision and you share that vision with us, I'm really stoked that you're here with us. And even if you don't, if you can see the short-term vision, the profitability, still glad you're here with us. Share the word, spread the word, engage the stuff. Even if you're only here temporarily, make your impact known and help drive your bag up. And we're gonna be sitting pretty, guys, no matter what. So, trying to think if there's anything else, guys. I just had my 5-hour energy. I'm feeling amped. Marketing is obviously we haven't rolled out a single thing. Quick little marketing update since I'm already on the horn anyways. Marketing, guys, we've had some awesome contact. We have a lot of things rolling on the marketing side. But I mean, this is just the pure organic growth for anybody who's been watching it. We haven't really done a whole lot of paid marketing, but there's been some incredible support. So shout out again to anybody who's like called this out in their channel, on their Twitter, whatever group or community that you have fostered and you're calling out this project. Shout out to you guys. Amazing stuff. You know, if I haven't made my rounds to say thank you yet, I'm sure I will. And if not, send me your post and I'll make sure I'll give you a solid thank you, because I really do appreciate all the organic support that we've had. It's unlike anything I've seen in a long time in this space, and it's remarkable. So yeah, really cool stuff on that front. But the marketing approach, guys, if you weren't here yesterday, it's going to be very much so how-to based. It's going to be very educational. We want this to have the similar effect of somebody relearning how to buy the coins, kind of the same similar experience that you had when we all first bought our first shitcoin, whether it was SafeMoon or whatever the case, whatever Bitcoin was. We want that same experience for people. We want that same learning curve for people. We want it to be fun, exciting, something new. It's been a long time since we've done something in DeFi that's not just basically fun with math and fun with numbers, right? This is something that's new, it's innovative, and it's just the foundation. So we want that same learning curve. We want that same that same appeal, and we're going to be giving that to people. So as much content as we can push out about how to. Threads on Twitter are going to be amazing for us. I think that's a great way to reach like a really sophisticated audience, an audience that's going to believe in your product, and give you good volume, and they have good buying pressure. I think it kind of hits all the boxes that a marketer likes to see. So really strong presence on the Twitter threads, Medium articles by renowned artists as well on there, or renowned authors, I should say, not artists, authors on Medium, people that have a great following on that community as well. There's so many different avenues where we look to really target some strong players in DeFi. But yeah, guys, really excited about it. Hope I kind of got everybody else a little bit of the excitement that I feel too. I'm pretty pumped. But yeah, if anybody has any questions, or if STF, you wanted to add anything, feel free, man.
I just wanted to add that yeah, you saw that we recently updated the swap with the value tracker feature, which is not yet available on Trust Wallet, but for most of the people it worked flawlessly on MetaMask. And we will further improve the swap, the chart. Heisemann is working day and night, really. Like I really don't know when the guy sleeps anymore. In this moment, he wanted to attend this AMA as well, but he's currently busy to improve the chart. He said improving the chart is currently the biggest priority at the moment. Nonetheless, we are working on several things at the same time, just to improve the overall experience for trading Surge, and also for clearing the path to make other projects launch with Surge as well. Like, we want to have the perfect trading experience, less issues, and much more streamlined trading, and a much quicker chart system. And then we can attack the front of enabling other projects to launch with Surge as well. And this will drive much more activity into this whole ecosystem.
Hey guys, so first of all, hello. I was just trying to say that that thing you added on the swap that you can see the value of your tokens. Is so useful because last night what I did, I had to check on the ETH scan every buy of 0.1 ETH and do my math to know how much I'm holding. Yeah, and now it's much easier. That's a
But
great
something
addition.
simple like that, how good does it feel to finally have that tool? Like, even though it's only been like less than a day, it just feels so good to finally get that tool, right? Like that little addition to the charting or the swapping, it
Yeah,
makes
man,
all the
it's
difference.
insane. Yeah,
It's
exactly.
a cool feeling. So imagine those little things, right? If you look at what Dex Tools offers or any of the other ones, right? Those little things that we add in there, they're going to feel immense. They're going to feel even more powerful, right? It's just it's a building block, guys. And so yeah, I love it. I mean, I absolutely, I love the ability for us to be able to use this as just like a really, really strong foundation.
Yeah, this puts into perspective what other features are waiting for us to still be implemented in the Surge ecosystem. Like everything you see in other charting systems, you can then look forward to have those, be it on our own charting system or be it by being integrated in other charting systems, like for example Dex Screener, DexView, Dex Tools, like everything like that. You can look forward to get this added into this new ecosystem, and it will feel so much better than just having it presented to you in every other token. Like everything new coming will be a huge milestone for us and will fill us with joy.
And then I did want to touch on, somebody had a question about like how is the vault going to be used, BitAbsorber. So to kind of go through that one, what we've noticed, obviously I can tell you it's going to be used for marketing, for incentivizing. Obviously we want to drive volume. We're going to have some really fun ideas and ways that we're going to drive volume that we'll tap into the vault for as well and utilize some of those funds. But more so than anything, like unequivocally, what we figured out, and I think everybody can attest to this, is that projects that have a large treasury or a large vault or funding or whatever the case is have the ability to pivot much easier than people that are doing it, obviously from a fundraising or pre-sale raise, or, they're trying to get this concept or idea out there. People in projects that have the money already and that ability give them there's no limit to the amount of ways that you can pivot, right? So whether it be onboarding new developers to launch a new branch within the ecosystem, whether it be to push marketing in a certain way, this is all going to be, in my opinion, very, very calculated. We're going to treat this just as we would like anything else, like the lifeblood of a business, essentially, is how the vault's going to be treated, because we're going to utilize this for just about all company operations. So with this, in terms of how we're going to break it down, we're going to make sure that this protocol doesn't need a whole lot of heavy shilling style marketing. In my opinion, it doesn't need a whole bunch of rush style pump, influencer 24/7 kind of marketing. We want like our core supporters, and I think that's what's really going to drive us. And then we're going to start building, with just what we envision as more effective style marketing for the long term, I think, and that's going to be a big player for us. So the vault's going to be utilized for just about everything operations wise. But the thing that we're most excited about is if we grow this to a certain level, this is all obviously available for the community to watch and look at and ask questions about and whatnot. This is, how we're going to pivot when we need to, is how we're going to add additions into the ecosystem and to bring, really powerful elements into it. That's kind of how I see it. SDF, I don't know if you have a different vision on the vault.
Absolutely not. No, 100% agree with everything you said.
Any plans on the app?
You mean for swapping and the chart?
Yeah, for the swap. Yes.
Well, it's not our highest priority at the moment, because either way you would need to connect it with Trust Wallet and or MetaMask. So I don't see a DApp for the things we are doing at the moment being valuable. If we get more utilities that could benefit from having an app on iOS or Android, then we can still change the course.
Cool.
But for anybody
Sorry,
that's
sorry to interrupt. Is there when I missed the
Okay.
start of this? I didn't know the schedule, but when are devs going to be able to launch on Surge Eco?
We briefly touched on this. We are currently pushing the update for the charting system to make this more convenient and further polishing the swap. So we just want to clear the path to make trading much more comfortable before other devs can launch on Surge.
Nice. Okay. Fair.
Yeah.
Makes sense, man. Thank you. Great work by the
Yo,
guys.
what's up, bro? I got a question. Yeah, just like my bro said, great job. It's amazing. Dude, how does it work? How does the LP, how does it work? Explain it briefly, please. Thanks.
Briefly explained, the LP is no longer stored externally like you would see it in Uniswap or PancakeSwap. In their cases, you pair BNB and your token inside of a liquidity pool, which then is represented by Cake LP tokens or Uniswap LP tokens, and those are then usually locked in a liquidity locker, right? And we just reshaped this model entirely by storing the LP, which is BNB and tokens, inside of the token contract itself, and throwing away the keys to that. So nobody has access to withdraw this. And if you want to buy Surge, then you write the function in the contract to buy, sending BNB into the contract. The contract then gives you tokens back. Selling is the other way around. And the ratio between BNB and the tokens inside of the contract, briefly explained, this ratio determines the price of the tokens.
Fascinating. Do you realize what you've done here?
We did. We are currently working on making everyone else realize this as well.
Yeah, if you're here, if you're listening to this, I'll see you in like 20 days. Like, holy shit, boys. This could go big because right now there's no snipers that can take care of this. It's going to be good, at least for the first few days. So, yeah. Thanks, guys.
We just need mass adoption. That's all it is. Once people get mass adoption on this, then it's game over.
Absolutely, it will be a process, and this is currently your advantage, guys, because you guys, especially the guys listening in this VC, you realize this fairly quickly, the potential that lies in this protocol. It's now just a matter of spreading the word about it and making it grow into a larger ecosystem where not only the price of Surge itself will make it worthwhile for you guys, but also the things you will be able to do with Surge, all the projects launching without the need of any pre-sale in advance, without the need to, or without the risk of any dev planning to slow rug a project to then pull the liquidity in the end. Like devs with real good intentions, good ideas, and the drive to just push their utility or their meme out, and it will benefit the whole ecosystem.
Just a quick one for exposure. It's not even it doesn't cost anything, but you might want to do like a little competition. But if you get everyone to change their display pictures for Surge, that automatically is like a good exposure thing. Even the mods, if the team can do it, it just looks good. I think it looks a bit more professional, it looks a bit more slick, and it just, everyone wants to know why has everyone's got the same display picture, and then they automatically, it's just a trigger for people to have a look at Surge. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
absolutely.
That's good value, man.
Yeah.
Bro, what's the main utility for Surge, bro?
The main utility is the DEX itself. We are enabling other projects as well to launch their projects without the need for any pre-sale, without the need to waste a lot of capital in only to provide liquidity to enable trading for their tokens. I didn't mention this in the recent few minutes, but the main difference between launching with Surge in comparison to launching your project on Uniswap or PancakeSwap is that project owners can set their starting price manually. Excuse me for 1 second. My dog is going crazy. So you can set your starting price for your project manually. So you do not need any starting liquidity in the form of BNB or ETH. So this is the main reason why launching with Surge is actually even better and more efficient for project owners. So you're not wasting too many funds. You can use the funds much more efficiently.
Nice work, man. Love that.
Yeah, that's the main utility. How we achieve it is by pushing more tools with that come with this DEX, like a token launcher bot,
which
the
is in the
charting
roadmap
system,
to
the
come
swap.
out fairly quickly for everybody who's been keeping that on the radar. That's the in progress one.
Exactly. Yeah, you can access the roadmap, docs as in documents .surgeprotocol.io, and the paragraph roadmap will give you an idea what's about to come, like the things we are working on.
And so to kind of further explain the value behind the token launch bot too, right? It's gonna make it super easy for anybody to launch a Surge paired project, one that meets the criteria and one that's automatically going to get listed on our DEX and our charting system, just like what happens with PancakeSwap, right? When you launch when you launch and you pair it with PancakeSwap, it shows up in the swap, right? The same concept is here on ours as well. That's the end goal, is that people are going to be able to pair with Surge on this launch bot, and people are going to be able to invest with Surge. So it's going to be able to basically cause this huge price shock because of the supply being utilized by multiple different projects as they're paired with their liquidity, and there's going to be people buying it. So it's going to be this huge price shock. That's in a kind of the vision for it all. So I hope I explained that right, SDF. I don't know.
Yeah, you did. Absolutely. Like to just add on that, the vision is you are looking like what we see in a few months from now, and maybe also a few years from now, is that you just have Surge sitting in your wallet as you have ETH or BNB in your wallet, and you go into crypto Twitter or in Telegram and you look for the next project you invest in, and instead of just buying it on PancakeSwap or on Uniswap using BNB or ETH respectively, you would then go to Surge Swap and buy the project using Surge. That's the vision. That's the end goal.
Bro, that's pretty ambitious. That's awesome, bro. My man, I got one more question for you, bro. Who's on the team, man?
The team is Heiseman, who is our dev. Albino Rhino, he's in VC with us, our marketing lead, and myself for the community.
Are any of you docs, dude? Do you have any of those like that type of security for the investors?
We did not docs. We just want to go down the path of showing people that the contract is completely secure. Like we also have an audit in the roadmap. You can see it there. So by proving that there is just no way to rock the liquidity of this project, and obviously you can see that there is no further financial advantage for us. Like there's no team tokens in advance. That there is no incentive for us to rock, and also no option to rock.
Baby, these 90 people here listening, they're like shitting their pants, all right? That's all I got to tell you. So it's just going to go wild in like the next 24 hours. All right, I saw something about reducing the tax eventually as the project progresses. How's that going to go, bro?
Yeah, I think it's actually necessary to for us to have an tax on buys and sells for Surge, just to get the ball rolling in terms of growing the project, making it growing the exposure of the project, and we also see it necessary to reduce the taxes continuously. And the end state would be that Surge will not have any more taxes at some point, and also no trading fees. So you would save 0.3% per transaction in comparison to Uniswap or PancakeSwap. This is the end state of Surge itself as a token.
Bro, I'm like having breakfast, but somebody can ask questions, you know. But fuck, this is meta, bro. This is new meta. This could change the fucking space. So you're gonna enable like the launches on both ETH and Binance Smart Chain. Do you have any plans for Polygon in the future or any other chains?
We leave all options open. It was important for us to launch on the major two major blockchains as soon as possible, just to have the price already settle a bit, floor out a bit before we enable all the devs to launch their projects on the Surge ecosystem. Because the vast majority of projects every day are launching on either ETH or on BSC, so we are covering the whole spectrum here. But it's actually extremely easy for us to implement Surge in other blockchains like Polygon, like AVAX. I don't know who is still trading on AVAX, but still. You get the idea. Like it's very, very simple.
Be mean, bro. Don't be mean. There's some of us that still have AVAX. Shut up.
But yeah, BitAbsorber says, is there any plans to increase the team? Yes, most definitely. I mean, that's going to be a big part of how we scale. And it kind of goes hand in hand, like with why we launched on BSC and ETH. We had a lot of questions about why we decided to do that. And it's kind of, we needed to stake our place in the ground. That's a big part of it, right? Like first movers advantage is huge in this space. And if somebody, I highly doubt anybody could take the run with it and recreate what we have, ready to go, ready to unveil and stuff like that, and have it ready. But we didn't want to take the chance, so we established it there, and like STF said, it just gives us a good baseline to obviously launch everything else within the ecosystem off, and see the effect that's going to have. But definitely a huge plan to increase the team. We just needed to be kind of undercover with how we organized everything to protect the idea, the concept that we knew really early on. Like when we first sat down and we came up with it, we realized like this is going to be potentially something absolutely next level. Like we even said it on voice chat, like this could potentially like change a lot of stuff. And we were like super excited about it. And it just kept evolving, as weeks and weeks went on, we just kept evolving the idea and the what ifs and the, hey, let's structure it this way. And it just felt like it became more and more refined every single day. And as we got closer and closer, it became something we obsessed about so much that we didn't want to tell anybody. Like we didn't want to tell anybody at all in this space. We swore each other to silence. Like nobody tells anybody anything. Like we have to make it all the way through there. And our idea was that if we could at least launch with a good contract, a good concept, a good vision, and like the basics of like a swap and charting system, like that's what we needed. And at that point, we have the capabilities to build and launch everything else. And then we can also bring on some team to add even more value and start building on some other stuff that we deem is like really critical too. So yeah, really, really cool story how it all worked out though.
I have a question, if that's cool.
Absolutely.
Yeah, hi. Really like the idea that you guys are going with. Just a few questions I have in terms of how you guys will keep yourselves funded to continue working on the project. Obviously, if the buy and sell taxes are going to be coming off over time, to obviously make it worthwhile, so that the fees that we're not having to pay to any of the existing dexes get cancelled out. What would be your revenue stream as a company to be able to keep developing and working? And on that note as well, what would be the benefit for a project to actually launch using Surge? I totally get it from a trader or an investor perspective, because we're not paying those fees to PancakeSwap or Uniswap or whatever. But from a project perspective, what's the benefit for them?
Very good question. Albino, do you want to touch on that?
Yeah. Can you go through the first one? I felt like the first one was like more up my wheelhouse. I just want to make sure I had it right.
Essentially, what your project revenue streams to keep you guys funded. I run a project, so I know that it's important to have money coming in to cover our costs, to our time and effort and stuff like that. If you're going to be reducing the taxes over time, where will you be getting your money from for the project?
As we scale down the taxes, at the same time that we're scaling down the taxes, that means the project's growing, right? Like we need to make ourselves more accessible, and obviously, kind of start morphing into this true DeFi experience and whatnot. So what we're going to be compensated on basically is what we build into the ecosystem in terms of optional third-party tools and whatnot. Like that's how we envisioned the longer play happening. And SDF, I don't know if you want to add on to that anything specifically, but the tools that we build out are going to be basically like our next level revenue streams.
I don't know. I'm just looking at the roadmap, because we purposefully held a few ideas we have for the far distant future. We kind of held them back, not in terms of keeping it secret, but in terms of having it as a surprise.
So it's more business to business type development.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, cool.
Like this gets the point.
Oh, and then go ahead. Your second one was really good as well. Can you go over that one more time?
Just from a project perspective, what is the benefit of launching through yourselves? Because normally the DEX fees impact the investors, not really the project. So it's not really a downside for them necessarily.
Yeah, that's actually a good point. Like, especially the fundraising part before even launching the project is oftentimes a huge barrier that keeps very talented and ambitious devs from actually fulfilling the ideas that they have. I have seen many. I've been working in marketing on Telegram for crypto Telegram channels and everything related to it for a few months, maybe more than a year, and I've seen many ambitious devs with great ideas, but the fundraising part is oftentimes a huge problem, and even generates more problems, like these huge pre-sales you see with huge hard caps, and just eliminating the buying pressure of the token completely at launch, forcing devs to do weird moves that are not capital efficient, like buyback and burns, oftentimes just out of desperation to kind of balance the project out against the sell pressure. Like it creates weird synergies. project owners, of course, if you are about to farm the liquidity, like if your intentions are not good, then maybe Surge is not the right thing for you. But if you really want to build a good project and a good you have a good vision for your project, then it's very easy to launch on Surge. You can do it with just a snap of a finger, and don't need to have any private sale or pre-sale in advance.
Actually, that's a good point. Yeah, I hadn't thought about that aspect because, especially in a bear market, it's been an absolute nightmare trying to raise money, and only meme coins and rugs seem to do so. That is a really good one. Plus, I'm guessing essentially the liquidity is locked forever because you can't ever pull it because you don't have liquidity tokens like pool tokens like you would have in normal projects.
Exactly. Like the liquidity belongs to investors exclusively. Like there is no ownership over the liquidity inside of Surge contracts.
And on top of it all, it also appeals. I'll just chime in really quick, guys. Like it also appeals to other devs too that just want the exposure of being kind of like the first on this new network, obviously, right? Like that is a huge play, whether we want to factor that in or not. If we have a built-in ecosystem of a lot of traders, thousands of potential holders, and the first few projects get listed on there, and they see the price action and what it's doing to Surge, and then these projects being paired to Surge and how that affects their projects, like they're going to see a really cool effect here on how everything just kind of works within this ecosystem. I think it's going to be really, really exciting from that standpoint too. I mean, plus it's good to know that your contracts are going to work a certain way, that your investors know. Like if you truly have genuine intentions, like STF was saying, like this is a gold mine from an investor standpoint, from a dev standpoint, to have this kind of opportunity. I guess to have even more exposure right out of the gates, and it's like genuine exposure from quality holders. That's my point of view.
Yeah, so it's kind of almost like a combination of a launch pad, but not really a launch pad, and a liquidity provider, but not really a liquidity provider in the traditional senses, but it kind of pulls that all together into one place.
Yeah, we don't own it. Like the liquidity, kind of like a liquidity provider, but nobody has the keys for it, other than the investors with their own stake, right? Your tokens are your stake in that liquidity pool, and nothing changes that.
Yeah, ultimate locker.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool. Cheers to that.
Great questions. Thank you.
Hey guys, I was wondering if you could just cover the charts. I know a lot of people have been asking about, charting, and I was curious if you guys would be interested in doing like a real-time chart, like on your main page of like both the BSC and ETH. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, absolutely. That's actually the reason why our dev is currently not in the AMA, because he said that he really wants to keep working on improving the charting system at this moment. And greetings from him. Next time he will be around, but he's currently with his face covered in laptop light. Weird.
Cool. Thank you.
Anyway,
it is a huge priority though from the team. It just getting some more and more features built into that.
Awesome. Does anyone else have any more questions? You're all unmuted. You can just go ahead.
Yeah, I have a question. Can I go? Yeah, so on most of the like Pancake or Uniswap launches, we see that the liquidity is locked, but the dev has smartly kept some malicious code in the contract and ends up minting and dumping even though the liquidity is locked. So when we launch on Surge, will it take care that no malicious code like that exists? Because even we see the bots and all, right, like Honeypot bots and all, they don't detect it, but the dev has hidden it in a new way of minting. So will the smart contract, developed in the Surge ecosystem, will make sure that nothing, right, that sort of thing like happens? Thank you, and you guys are doing good job.
Did I miss anything?
Yo, I just dropped off out of the VC. Back again now.
Did you hear my question, or can I can
I
repeat it again?
I heard the start of your question. I think it was regarding the risk of other projects launching on Surge and having a mint function in place, and if we have anything to counter this, right?
Exactly. Like there's no malicious code hidden, right? Like dev, even though we have some bots and they keep like they say that it's fine, but then later on they realize and they need to upgrade it. I'm talking about ETH Analyzer bot or SUSAPE bot, right? So even they are not able to detect some of the mint function, and we see it's happening on a regular basis. Everything is fine. Honeypot gives it 100%, and then all of a sudden we see the dev has minted and dumped, and the liquidity lock in that sense, in that case, doesn't matter. So it's basically a
Yeah,
hidden malicious code in the
absolutely.
smart contract.
Yeah,
To
absolutely.
begin, do you want me to answer that one, SDF?
Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I can.
Well, oh, go ahead.
No, you can start. I can add on.
All right.
Sorry.
So what I think too is we're going to be starting off with a set baby contract essentially to start this whole process off. There's going to be a set baby contract that people are going to launch from. It's not going to be a typical baby contract in the sense of like reflections. So I hope that's not too confusing. It's just what we've been calling it. But so there is going to be that element to it to ensure that obviously people are working within the constructs and whatnot. Now, this idea could evolve, guys, again, with things that we haven't released yet. And that's kind of the trouble with talking about some of the vision of it is like it could modify a little bit. So things that we're talking about, we could make improvements to it. We could change a little bit of it, but it's the general idea of kind of how we're thinking about it. That's kind of where it's at. And STF, you could probably add something on there too.
Yeah, absolutely. Like we can set certain criteria to begin with to be able to pair it with Surge. What is clear is if a project owner decides to launch with Surge, especially when the entrance barrier is this low, like you do not need to have a starting liquidity, etc. People will still need to do their own due diligence and do their own research on if the dev launching it is safe and trustworthy. This is still important, and Surge will not completely get rid of scams. This would be too optimistic to think, but it eliminates a huge portion of the problems we are facing in the space right now.
So it's like it's decentralized, so you can't control everything. That like otherwise it will become more. It won't make sense to have control after it launched. But I think like if we can include, right, like once they have launched on Surge, then if we include the kind of what SUSAPE does or ETH Analyzer, Safe Analyzer bot does, where it goes and checks. So those kind of thing can be there, like automated. So it's not like interference, manual interference, and people say that it's centralized. So it can be automated, and once those things pass through, right, we can have like the Surge own SUSAPE bot version. It does, and if it passes all those things, like it's not a honeypot or no malicious code, then only it allows it to be listed onboarded on the system. So that way at least we know like it's 99% safe. We cannot get rid of scam. Like devs are also like scammer devs are also evolving every day. So
yeah, I get your point. Absolutely. Similar things are absolutely possible. We are still balancing out the benefits and the risks of prior vetting, also automated vetting. It's always a balance of centralization against decentralization, right? So we're still pending to give you guys the clear instructions on how to deploy the contract to be able to pair it with Surge. Like we will be absolutely transparent with you guys or with the devs that are interested in it. And yeah, if it comes to contract scans, we have the perfect guy in our team, which is Heiseman, who is the developer of SAS ScanBot. So yeah, that's very fitting.
Even Abbas is there, which is like Maestro Sniper. So they also do pretty good job on detecting honeypots and all. So
absolutely,
you have all the good hands. That's true. Thank you, and I wish all
good
the
questions.
success. Thank you.
When's the marketing gonna start?
Oh no, come on. No.
Oh, no. Don't do it, man. Come on.
No, not here. Come on, no.
His thing market itself.
I know, the question was for you.
I know, right? I know it, man. I know it. Yeah, I mean, guys, you know how the deal goes. I mean, just shield the bags. Obviously, else everything's working in the background. So we're right on track.
Yeah, I think just to add on that. Sorry, DC. Just to add on that, if we reach out to these guys individually, like as I saw, Alex was taking a look at it, and I saw one of your team member responded. But if we can reach out to them in DM, they don't do kind of paid marketing, Alex or Eric Cryptoman. But if they're interested, right, I have seen them supporting a lot of DeFi innovation on their own, right, like real yield and all. So it's not from the price perspective more. It's more from adoption and more eyes on it. So if the team can reach out to them directly on DM, maybe they would be open to take a
100%.
more clear look. And those guys are like they have the community, which are not like they have the mix like apers as well as investors. But yeah, they will be a good addition if they come on board. It's not on board as in a team or something, but just to have a look. And I'm sure if they look at it, they will like it. Thank you.
Yeah, good feedback. No, for sure.
Yeah, I want to agree with what the AKS just said. I really want to agree with that. I mean, I've been involved in Earth projects, and I know what he's really saying. So if these guys, the cities on Earth, can be contacted, some of them would make posts for free, and it will actually go a long way. With this project. Please, I think you should look into that feedback.
Yeah, man. No, of course. Obviously, influencer marketing, finding good partners, guys, it's essential. We are still a few hours from our 24-hour mark. Just want to, just a little rah-rah. We're still doing awesome, guys. But yeah, no, we definitely want to make sure that we're getting the right people with us early on. Those early partnerships are obviously essential. So a lot of things working on in the background. But again, guys, we want major updates. We want integrations. We want exposure on a much bigger scale and a more consistent scale to continue to drive demand to the project and ultimately to the token and people launching and just the overall what we're creating here, right? So the marketing and everything has to be very well thought out and well executed, I feel like, and we're definitely taking a look at all options. But yeah, most definitely, I know he has a great community, and I appreciate you guys throwing that out there.
Very good. Like we're almost touching the 1 hour mark for this AMA. Healthy amount of time, I think. So if you guys have any questions,
if you guys
this, right?
Yeah, I did. I was going to step in for you, man, because I know that live, and I'm sitting there feeling for you because I just had it yesterday. So, but yeah, guys. If anybody has any more questions, I want to get cracking on marketing and getting some stuff going to set us up for like a really big push to Monday. Obviously, we expect volumes to be a lot higher. The whole market's looking great going into the new week, right? Everything's pumping, BNB's pumping. We want to make sure that once we get on live trading day for what's Monday, we're ready to go. So I'm gonna hop off, get on marketing. SDF's got his hands full. He's gonna be managing outside of voice, and we're gonna be here for you guys though if you have any questions.
Yeah, for me, it's better to just exit the VC at this point.
All right, take it easy, guys. Thanks everybody for showing up. Appreciate it.
Thank you, guys.
Hey, brother. See you next time. Take care.
Yo, come Billy is a G.
Take it easy. Thanks, bros. Bye.